Within time, it is revealed that possessing a good heart and mind is no longer a benefit to the host, as one would be able to execute the goodness of their hearts, walking inside of a realm of goodness and humility. One comes to venture into a world which is in time perceived as no good because of so many so-called human beings taking advantage of such so-called wonderful traits embraced inside. The intention to flourish goodness from the heart is opposed inside of a society that has openly forsaken the principle, even before the host executes. In this day, the intention of executing goodness is not the challenge. The challenge is the struggle to maintain the goodness of your heart and mind. Within the warfare of many people who have allowed themselves to wither away and into a wilderness of sorrow and pain, igniting that which has through the course of their living experience guided them to such a place inside of where there is barely left a memory of what was, before they have become what is. What has become was in truth allowed through disappointments, either through their own conscious choices or through the trauma that influenced their choice by way of someone else hurting them. One comes to ask God, despite of what is written of your wishes, in spite of what I would like of myself, why has this been allowed so of you, whom created me to serve you, to obey you, while in the same movement one has been created and therefore caused to suffer for the sake of one to become better? I ask, as many in time come to wonder silently as their minds are challenged with divine principles, and their faces are sadly animated with the cringe of complications. Why does this have to be so? Why has it been made an essential requirement to burn in the fire of dismay? For one to come to understand the privileges of what has been asserted as peace, what has been created of all of these states of being, I have come to understand are futile because they have not been designed to be of permanency. The state of bliss is indeed not because of it having no dependability, because it lacks permanency. The walk has forever been revealed as consistently inconsistent, predictably unpredictable. As this is the root of the human being's state of a constant fear rooted inside of the reality of having no security, which in fact doesn't exist, unstable and thus unreliable, and thus consistently moving inside of a state of instability and uncertainty. And this is understood globally by the majority as the norm, and thus having to helplessly embrace the possibility of having no possible means for to control one's own desires and objectives in spite of one's good intentions of the heart and mind. In existing inside of a world of where most oppose the implication or even the thought of divine resolve and resolution. Yes, having been giving thought to the experience that no state of being is permanent, no matter of which is given and taken or rejected, and therefore the cycles of living inside of a dual state, and therefore an unstable existence persist, while this is commonly called living. And therefore the distorted cycles of sustenance in fact reveals one only has a life which has a day of judgment. And for what purpose outside of what has been taught and said? What has been made known, asserted of being truth, is conjecture. All is left open for only that which has created this divine mess. And this is called living. The most valuable state that a human being could be blessed with after going through consistent storms is contentment. It's the greatest state in which makes one a true survivor. In offering to share your state of contentment with others, you will find that when that is done, your contentment is compromised because others bring their burdens into your life and complicate matters even through a kindness that is later seen as a tool for deception and control. We can only blame ourselves. However, the vital lesson in all of this is to understand that each human being has their time of contentment as the flower needs time alone in an area of rich and fertile soil, untouched by external thorns. It is that precious and vital time in which is rooted in a revolutionary birth for better times. It is the birth of things coming to bloom that only peace is the proper nourishment and mineral that will bring about your success in this living experience, despite what is happening or what has happened within the areas of others' lives. You can't pick anyone else up until you do that for yourself. The time of when your life is being blessed, make certain that it is a time that is only for your own independent time for growth according to your destiny. The only relationship that is made needed for you is the one you are gaining with yourself after the storms have ceased. Embrace that time. Your peace is all you have in the end, or don't have. And there is nothing more internally crippling than to have the know that you are absent of your own inner peace. The distinction between them is if you keep other people out of your life that always bring conflict, who dwell in their pains instead of growing from them, who take everything you do and say and turn it upside down to accommodate their own sense of contentment. If you intend on making it, then you sure don't. If you choose to allow someone else's frustrations and bitterness affect your life, then you won't. But if you like to be enveloped into nonsense and drama, then settle and sit down and die and rest in that perception of peace. Wherever you find your peace depends upon your social circle and where that circle of human beings are going. No matter what they say, what they do, it is you who are responsible in maintaining your peace and protecting it from miserable, rigid, and people that are looking for something daily to be angry about the moment they rise from their sleep, and so they never truly rest. If you need someone to roll with you and still assert this profound strength, then sooner or later you are going to have to ask yourself why. Why do I need others to roll with me? Why do I need others to support what I am doing and who and what I am? Why do I have a need for others to be in my corner when in fact I am the one responsible for how much my own life evolves as they are responsible for their own? Why do I need others to maintain my own peace and balance? Why do I need others to keep me whole? Why do I need others to fill in my inner voids? Why do I need others to agree with me? Why do I need others to be attached to me? Why do I feel that I need to be attached to others? Why do I need others to be dependent upon me? Why do I depend upon others? Why do I feel the need to be accepted? Who is anyone in this world that I have to feel as though their moral or immoral validation makes me a decent or good or even bad human being? Why do I feel as though I am not able to stand alone? Why do I think being alone is a state of isolation? What am I afraid of in being alone with my own flaws as well as my potential gifts of evolution? Why that when I face my pains, I am not able to go through them? Why does my past pains make me feel exhilarated in intensifying them, instead of rising above them in inner resolve? Why is it that I don't allow myself to know that I am enough because I have been created enough? We all are created with an inner peace inside for personal collective evolution. It must be protected even if it was at a time lost as mine was a time ago. But I suffered the pains of facing them because I fell in love with my life and decided to move forwards, and through them as a mother pushes her child into another world and conditioned during a great birth. Change the appetite for drama, chaos, conflict, and disorder, and allow yourself to see just how very beautiful you are. Protect your peace. It's your greatest asset. Asking of why do I need others is the fundamental question when it comes to your life's rise and therefore healing. There are indeed some matters that will only take you to resolve alone. Look inside instead of looking and expecting your growth to be rooted in other people. While living and responding to life, you will find an understanding that has forever been hidden from you the moment you were physically born. It has been a divine truth that has been demoralized and buried with religious doctrine, race, political propaganda, and other methodologies for the aim of living a life always maintained by a manufactured deception causing conflict. The truth is plain that the only book you truly need to learn of how to read and understand will forever be yourself. Just take the walk and read your responses and make the necessary purges from what has been implanted inside, which has caused you inner turmoil, as well as a false state of identity based upon a wicked government system of rule. The divine created you to grow and to evolve into what you have been made into. End looking outside and listening outside. You were created with clarity. Read yourself in order to free yourself. Put your name upon that book because the book is really you. It is true that many of us are living within a time of sorrow. But these times are also vital moments of identity of your inner being. New times are visited upon you always for the primary purpose of growth and to reveal the unlimited reality of your gifted inner strength. It is sometimes a difficult task to place your mind upon a strength and endurance that is said to you that you have, but your state of existence is a major factor of that truth. Your inner strength has never been revealed to you in its fullness and never will. Otherwise, we would interfere in it, making matters worse. Sorrow is only ordained for a short period. It is a chapter within a book in which has only your name upon it, despite who is there as a participant for you to acquire the truths within the experience. You feel the most pain of the sorrows of the earth because you, in your sensitive nature, mind and spirit, are they who will help others endure and make it through the storms that try to wash their hopes and dreams away. It is indeed you who have been crushed in your journey, but you still live. You have come from the bottom of the abyss to guide those by example into better places of the mind and spirit by understanding their sorrows, and where those sorrows are there to hold destruction, and also there to empower their evolution. The opposing factors in terms of the affects within sorrow is growth or non-growth, as it is dependent solely upon the host. In those times of a misunderstanding of the effects of sorrow, hold its stepbrother and sister frustration, who always try to force you to think that giving up is more beneficial for you than to continue. They are to be negated as destructive, and only the jewels of the affects of sorrow are made vital. The jewels of sorrow are the seeds consumed for greatness. Rise up your inner places because they are truly grounds for fertile greatness. Allow your tears to stream as long as they contain you. But after they are done, don't remain there. And then allow those tears to dry into memory without trying to catch them in a jar of harsh realities that will only betray your present hour of clarity. You have always been created by a tremendous force that has made you to survive your sorrows. So recognize your vitality and keep moving forwards. Better times are coming? No. Better times are indeed here. Just open your inner eyes to see past the one that can only see hopelessness. The Creator is present. Written by David Anthony Brayboy.